Her name was Sophia Williams. When Sophia walked down the street, people turned their heads. She was that kind of woman who made stranger pause mind sentence. Her beauty was breathtaking, her posture grateful, and her clothing spoke of elegance and wealth. Children whispered, women admired, and men secretly dreamed. Everywhere she went, she carried an air of confidence. Many said she was a perfect picture of excellence. She drove a shiny car, lived in a mansion, and worked as a director of a successful fashion company. Sophia's life seemed so perfect that people often whisper things like, look at her. I wish I could have that kind of life. She doesn't lack anything. I sent her a letter once. She never even replied. But I can't blame her. A woman like that deserves only the best. Do you know how many men have gone after her? All turned down. Sophia has standards. And it was true. Sophia had admirers from everywhere. Rich men, powerful businessmen, and even young dreamer who wrote her letter, sent her flower. Some even stood outside her office just to see her. She rejected them all with grace and firmness. But what nobody saw was what happened when the lights went off. At night, in her large bedroom, Sophia would collapse onto her bed, her face buried in her pillow. The soul she had hidden all days poured out in silence. Sophia said, whispering to herself, why me? Why can't I just be normal? Why can't I have someone to love? She had longed for a companion. She longed for a man she could truly call her own. Yet deep down, she was afraid. There was a reason she rejected every admirer, a secret she had kept hidden. For years, she had been visiting hospitals. She had undergone 4 different tests, seeing specialists across the city. But each time, the doctor would frown and say, Sophia, your reports are fine. I don't see anything unusual. Maybe it's stress, you work too much, try to rest more. Strange. All results look normal, but if the pain continues, come back again. We can't find the root cause. You will have to manage it. Each time, Sophia left the hospital with more questions than answers. She knew something was wrong, but no one could see it. Behind the glamorous life, she lived with a hidden pain that tormented her whenever she tried to open her heart to a man. It has always ended the same way. The relationship begins sweetly, but the moment things get closer, the man ends in pain, confused and scared never to return. Sophia's fear grew. What if this was her destiny? To live admired by everyone, but never truly loved by anyone. One evening, while attending a business dinner, she met someone different. His name was Daniel Harris. Daniel was not like the usual man who chased her for the wealth or beauty. He was calm, respectful, and his eye carried kindness. They spoke for the first time at the dinner table. Daniel said, you know, Miss Williams, people look at you and see perfection, but I can tell there's more to you than what meets the eyes. Sophia froze for a moment. Nobody had ever said that to her. She said, smiling, and what do you think you see, Mr. Harris? Daniel replied, I see a woman who has everything, yet carries something heavy inside. Sophia's smile faded. She quickly changed the subject, but Daniel's words echoed in her heart. Over the following weeks, Daniel gently pursued her, not with expensive gifts or bold letters, but with patience, encouragement, and genuine care. He was a Christian, and his faith seemed to give him a peace that intrigued Sophia. One Sunday, Daniel invited her to church. At first, she hesitated, but something inside her whispered that she should go. The day marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life. What Sophia did not know was that around the same period, Dr. Morins, the 5th doctor she visited, was about to make a shocking discovery. During a routine examination, his eye wide as he leaned closer. Something unusual caught his attention. He excused himself for a moment, then returned with a senior specialist. The 2 doctors exchanged glances, both shocked. Dr. Morris said, whispering, This can't be real. How did this go unnoticed all these years? They both looked at Sophia, who sat anxiously on the bed. Sophia sat nervously in the examination room, her eye dark from the white wall to the clicking clock above the doctor's desk. The air felt heavy. Sophia thought to herself, why are they taking so long? What did they see? Finally, Dr. Morris returned with a serious expression. He pulled his chair closer and spoke gently. Sophia, I don't want to alarm you, but during today's examination, I found something very unusual, something I haven't seen in my career before. Her heart skipped a beat. Sophia said, Doctor, please, just tell me, what is it? Dr. Morris hesitated for a moment before speaking. It looked like there's an object inside your body, something that should not be there. To be specific, it appears to be a piece of metal, almost like a blade. Sophia gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. A blade inside me? That's not possible. How could that be there? The doctor leaned forward. He said, "That is what makes this case so mysterious. It's been there for so long. Somehow, every test you have taken before missed it. But today, with the advanced scan, it finally showed up." Tears filled Sophia's eyes. She shook her head in disbelief. All this time, the pain, the failed relationship, the sleepless night, it was because of this? Dr. Morris said, "Yes, and now that we know, we can treat it, but we must act carefully. You have been carrying this for years. Moving it to take precision." Sophia sat back overwhelmed. For the first time, she had finally had an answer, but it was an answer too shocking to accept. That evening, Sophia called Daniel. She needed someone to talk to. She said, "Daniel, can you come over, please? I need to see you." Within 30 minutes, Daniel was at her house. She opened the door, her eyes red from crying. Daniel said, "Sophia, what happened? You look shaken." Sophia told him everything: the hospital visit, the doctor's word, and the unbelievable truth. Daniel was stunned. "A blade inside you all this time? My God, no wonder. You have suffered so much." Sophia replied, voice trembling, "Daniel, I feel broken. Why me? What did I do to deserve this?" Daniel stepped closer, holding her shoulder firmly but gently. He said, "Listen to me. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You have carried this pain for years, but now it's time for healing. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new one." Tears ran down Sophia's cheek as Daniel pulled her into a comforting hug. For the first time in years, she felt safe. The following Sunday, Sophia went with Daniel to church. She sat quietly in the palm as the choir sang. The word of the preacher touched her deeply. The preacher said, "Sometimes we carry hidden battles. People may see our smiles, our wealth, our beauty, but they do not know the secret tears we cry at night. But I tell you today, nothing hidden will remain hidden forever. God reveals and heals." Sophia bowed her head, her heart pounding. Those words felt like they were directly spoken to her. After service, Daniel introduced her to his pastor who prayed for her. The pastor said, "Sophia, you are precious. What you have been through does not define you. Healing is your portion." Sophia felt a sense of peace wash over her, something she had never experienced before. Meanwhile, Dr. Morris and his team prepared for the surgery. They studied the scan carefully, amazed at how such an object could remain hidden for so long. Dr. Morris said to his colleague, "This is extraordinary. She lived with this for years. The reliance of human body is incredible." The colleague replied, "And yet it explains everything she has been through. We must be very careful. This operation won't be ordinary." The day of the surgery was set. Sophia sat in her room the night before, looking at herself in the mirror. She thought, tomorrow could change everything. Tomorrow I might finally be free. She whispered a quiet prayer and then called Daniel. She said, "If anything happens, promise me you will remember me." Daniel said, "Don't talk like that, Sophia. Nothing bad will happen. Tomorrow is the day your healing begins, and I will be right there waiting." Sophia smiled faintly, her heart both heavy with fear and light with hope. The long night passed. The next morning, she was wheeled into the hospital theater. The bright light above burned as the doctor prepared their instruments. Dr. Morris leaned over and spoke softly. "Sophia, we are ready. You are going to be alright." As the drug took effect, Sophia's eyes slowly closed. The operating theater was silent, except for the steady beam of the monitor and the metal click of surgical tools being arranged. Bright white light flooded from the room. Sophia lay on the table, unconscious under the drugs. Her face calm, but her body holding years of silent suffering. Dr. Morris looked at his team. He said, "Everyone, this is not a routine case. We have seen the scan. There's an object inside her body, a blade. Our job is to remove it carefully without causing damage." The nurse nodded, their faces tense. Hours passed as the operation began. The team worked with absolute focus. At one point, a young surgeon gasped as he noticed something. He said, "Doctor, there it is. I can see the edge." Everyone leaned closer. Slowly, with careful precision, Dr. Morris lifted the foreign object from Sophia's body. The theater went completely silent. There was indeed a rusted tin blade, long deep inside her for years. Dr. Morris said, whispering, "Unbelievable. She has been carrying this all these years and no one ever saw it." The nurses stared in shock. One nurse said, "How could anyone live with this inside them?" This explains everything she had suffered. Dr. Morris placed the blade carefully into a train. He said, "This is a history, but most importantly, Sophia would finally be free." Meanwhile, Daniel sat anxiously in the hospital waiting room, pacing up and down. His Bible was on the chair beside him, but he couldn't focus on reading. His thoughts were only on Sophia.